The Supergirl movie was a bad adaptation of the comic it was based on, 2021's Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King, Bilquis Evely Matheus Lopes. Now, the movie itself was just fine. Nothing special. It felt like an MCU film from 10 years ago. Kara and Ruthie were both likable enough. There were some funny jokes. I liked the tiny Seth Rogen alien and the weird little critters everywhere. And every second David Corenswet was on screen as Superman was just perfect. He's such a phenomenal Clark Kent. He's so dorky and lovable. I couldn't be more excited for him to return alongside a chudded-out Lex Luthor in Man of Tomorrow. But back on topic. While the Supergirl movie was an aggressive 6 out of 10, it feels like a lot worse if you've actually read the comic it's based on. Somehow, they managed to leave out everything that made the comic great, keeping only the bare bones of the plot, which is truly befuddling. And I'd like to explain why. Before we jump into this, I want to implore you to go read the comic yourself. It's incredible, a real treat for the eyes and the heart. Obviously, this video will contain spoilers for both the comic and the movie, so if you've already read it or just don't care, let's go. I'd like to start by breaking down the most important part of the story, the characters and their arcs. Quite a bit was changed, and almost every change was worse than the original. Starting with Kara. In the comic, we begin with narration from Ruthie about how Supergirl kills Krem at the end of the story. From minute 1, we are wondering what leads Kara to do this. This is especially intriguing because when the girls meet, Kara is mostly uninterested in helping Ruthie, but passively tries to convince her to abandon revenge and go home. She's operating from a place of compassion and understanding, but she's also here to get blackout drunk, alone, for her 21st birthday, so she's probably not doing too well herself. We begin to imagine how her mental state might degrade to where she stoops to murder by the end of the story. The two girls begin to get acquainted, and when Ruthie asks if Kara went looking for vengeance after the destruction of Argo, Kara says no, albeit with an air of regret. Will she change her mind soon? The primary idea of the comic is about this decision. Why does Kara choose not to kill? What makes her change her mind by the end? Will Ruthie change her mind as well? The movie doesn't even attempt anything like this. While Kara repeatedly tells Ruthie that revenge will just make her feel worse, that killing will just hurt her, Supergirl is the one to kill Krem in the end. And I don't know what we are meant to take away from this. She doesn't believe what she's told Ruthie the whole film, or that she sees herself as broken already, taking on the burden of killing to protect Ruthie? If movie Kara thinks that she is broken in this way, then why does she choose to go live on Earth at the end? This seems to fly in the face of where we find her at the beginning of the movie. She's lost everything, given up on hope for the future, so she lives as a traveling drunkard with crypto. The comic shows this as a one-time celebration for her 21st birthday, but movie Kara is an alcoholic avoiding her only remaining family. You would think that a choice for her not to kill Krem at the end would be a way to complete her arc. She realizes that she's not beyond saving, that she can hope for the future and pick up her old self, the old ideals she used to hold on to. Instead, she just kills Krem because that's subversive of the superhero genre, or whatever. It's so muddled and confused. Meanwhile, in the comic, after following their months-long journey together, we see that Kara is worn down by all the atrocities committed by Krem and the Brigands, punctuated when Comet the Superhorse is forced to sacrifice himself to save her. This Kara finally reaches the end of her rope and is about to kill Krem. But she's stopped by Ruthie. Ruthie recounts the many ways Kara has inspired her and shown her relentless beauty and kindness, tenacity against the evils of the cosmos over their journey together. Ruthie tells her that Supergirl taught her it is possible to weather a storm so terrible as your entire world dying around you and still walk away with hope and kindness in your heart. Kara has managed to carry that torch this long, and even though she's dropped it now, just for a moment, Ruthie has finally come to understand it and is able to pick it up for her in this moment. She is able to be that light to Supergirl here and now, to not let herself be broken by the world, to give up on her values, to add bloodshed to the list of burdens she carries. Ruthie saves Kara from losing herself. This is wrapped up all really well in the conclusion. We learn that Krem has been trapped in the Phantom Zone for 300 years, where after centuries of reflection, he's finally gained a sense of remorse. He's seeking atonement. Supergirl says it herself as she lets him out so Ruthie can confront him. There is always hope. That is what Supergirl represents. Her arc in the comic was about being that hope for others and having it gifted back to her in a time of great need. Ruthie's narration from the beginning was a lie, the version of events as she recounted them in a book she wrote and published. Her narration all throughout the story has been from that book. Kara did not kill Krem. She was able to rise above it because Ruthie stopped her. See, the purpose of the story is to explore Kara's past, her relentless hope, and how it shapes Ruthie. But in the film, this story is inverted and overlapped with a different arc for Kara, that she doesn't feel as though she has a home. The hurt from losing Argo and her parents is too great, so she remains a detached drifter, wallowing in her drunkenness, attached only to Crypto, which I think is probably a wonderful story to tell about Kara, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the message of the Woman of Tomorrow comic. There is definitely a potential through line there about hope in a better future despite the pain of the past, but it's not one the movie chooses to explore at all, especially not with a conclusion that Kara just kills Krem. The differences in the structure of these two stories make themselves far more apparent as we examine more scenes. In the film, landing on the planet with twin suns, one green and one yellow, serves as a very clunky plot device. Kara and Ruthie need to be separated long enough for Ruthie to get in danger, and Kara can have flashbacks during her time under the kryptonite sun's influence, showing us her origin as she left Ardo and was urged by her father to be kind and to live for both her parents who were destined to die there. This gives us insight into Kara's history, but that's it. None of this is new to Kara. So when she wakes up as the yellow sun rises, deciding to wear the superhero outfit she made light of earlier, and eventually decides to try settling down on Earth again at the end of the movie, we are meant to feel like this is the conclusion to an arc for her. But there wasn't really any arc at all, just the illusion of one. Under the green sun is where Kara should have had some revelation or learned something new that changed her way of thinking. Instead, it was the 2/3 point of the movie, so she just started acting differently because that's what normally happens at this point in a script. In the comic, the green sun trap is more to serve Ruthie's arc. For the first time, she's the one defending Kara, and she gets to feel how out of depth she really is as monsters attack the two of them. And in risking her life, she realizes that she's also risking her opportunity to get revenge on Krem, all to defend Kara. It begins to open up the possibility in her mind that she may value other things more than vengeance. Another very important difference in the stories is Crypto. In the movie, he's shot by Krem and poisoned, and is Kara's driving force for chasing the brigand across the galaxy. She reluctantly puts up with Ruthie in the meantime, but her main goal is to save her dog, the only remaining piece of her home. She even says, "Home is wherever you are." But this is played totally straight, which is quite baffling. While I certainly don't want Crypto to die, isn't that the obvious move if you want to give Kara an arc about accepting life on Earth? Showing her that she is capable of moving on by removing her glass tether to the past? Again, I love Crypto, but it doesn't make any sense why after saving him, she suddenly decides to move back to Earth. The film is very confused about what it's trying to say, and ends up saying a whole lot of nothing. The comic is, surprise, surprise, entirely different. As it turns out, Crypto was never actually in danger of dying. Kara lied about that as an excuse to accompany Ruthie on her journey to find Krem. She was hoping that the time they spent together would teach the girl that there is still hope in her future, and that dirtying her hands with blood wouldn't make her days any brighter. The whole journey was an expression of her endless compassion. There wasn't a single self-serving reason for her to spend those months with Ruthie. She did it to help the girl grow up and move on. This Kara is a truly aspirational heroine, despite how broken she feels and how much she's lost. And that is what it means to be the woman of tomorrow. Speaking of which, I'd like to talk about Ruthie now. The first and most interesting change is her blade. In the comics, the sword is something of Krem's that he leaves in the body of Ruthie's father. She discovers it and pulls it from her father's body, vowing to use it to kill Krem herself. The sword represents how violence creates cycles of hatred. When Ruthie picks it up, she is burdened by the weight of Krem's sin. It's made pretty explicit. We see Ruthie literally being dragged down by Krem's sword as she swims through the water, her attachment to revenge weighing on her heart as much as her body. It's presented elegantly and beautifully through this metaphor. But in the film, Ruthie's family are sword makers instead of farmers. The blade she carries belonged to her slain parents, and it completely loses the thematic meaning it held in the comic. In the finale of the comic, the point really is to show how much Ruthie has changed. She began the story speaking exclusively in this long, drawn-out Shakespearean prose, which is super funny and endearing, by the way. But by the end, she's adopted the swang and swearing of Kara. Her change is also visually represented by how she now lives with her hair down instead of always tucked inside her alien headdress. And this leads us to wonder if she's really changed internally too, as she's left holding a sword next to a captured Krem, bound to a tree, while Kara fights the brigands up in space. The whole trip, Kara has told her that killing will sully her soul, rack her with guilt, follow her for life. And at every turn, Ruthie has shirked this advice. And now, she prepares her blade, lifting it up to Krem's throat. Instead of slaying him, she decides that she would rather be honorable and offers him a fair duel, releasing him from his bindings. And we get a genuine fight between the two. Something that gives us real pathos as a climax to Ruthie's journey. She feasibly could hold Krem's life in her hands if she gets the upper hand here, something that the near-invincible movie version of Krem is never vulnerable to. Movie Ruthie is never actually going to be able to kill him herself, so any choice she makes to forego it feels kind of silly in context. In a comic, it feels like Ruthie's decision really matters. Even if Krem is stronger than her, that gathing power isn't completely insurmountable. We get to see them clash as we root for her. And of course, it all takes place on this beautiful beach planet where alien fish fly through the skies, waves crashing around the two, symbolizing the tumultuous nature of Ruthie's heart, instead of the gray dirt planet we got in the movie. Seriously, how hard would it have been to just film on a beach? But here, when Ruthie wins the duel and has Krem at her mercy, we see her heart has changed. She can't follow through. Her time with Kara has changed her internally as well. But by this point, Kara has suffered a great loss, and after the death of Comet, picks up the sword herself. This becomes the final test for Ruthie. Perhaps she doesn't have the grit to kill Krem herself, but does she want vengeance to be enacted? Will she let Kara break her morals here? As we went over before, Ruthie stops her, a beautiful and touching endpoint for both of their arcs. She doesn't forgive Krem, even as an old woman, but she does let justice take the place of revenge in her heart, satisfied by letting Kara trap him in the Phantom Zone. And I think this makes for a good segue to talk more about the villain. The film version of Krem of the Yellow Hills is very boring and forgettable. They try to give him interesting quirks, like the way he always eats the food of whoever he's in the presence of, representing his lack of respect for the boundaries and autonomy of others. I guess, but this is ultimately a very hollow attempt at characterization. So to supplement this, they amp up his evilness about 1000%, which just falls completely flat. In the comic, he kills Ruthie's father, right? What if, in the movie, Krem killed her whole family and burned their house to the ground? Joining the genocidal brigands? No, he's actually their leader. And, they're human traffickers on top of the genocide. It's such a sophomoric attempt at making a villain threatening. And I need to emphasize this. The addition of having the brigands kidnap and traffic girls is so shallowly represented. They never give this plot point any of the gravity or focus it deserves. It's clear that this was a girl movie, so we needed to put sexual assault victims in it, right? Heaven forbid a female hero get to fight a villain who's a universal threat to all people. You know, like the male heroes do all the time, right? It's such a lazy attempt at garnering political points, it really grates my cheese. Anyway, in the comic, Krem is mostly portrayed in mystery. The few glimpses we get of him, every one of them gives us a hint to a new dimension about him, keeping us interested. At first, we are given the explanation that he works for the royalty of Ruthie's homeworld, looking for those who secretly plot against the king. And this is why he killed her father. Late in the story, it's revealed that Krem's initial killing went differently than we thought. During their talk, Ruthie's father was loyal to their king, passing Krem's test, and Krem lashed out against him solely because his ego was bruised. He killed a kind and noble man because he was made to feel small. Such a petty, despicable act makes him far more detestable and interesting as a villain than in the film, where he just kills people because he's bored or finds it fun. In the movie, we know right from the jump that Krem kills Ruthie's family for sport. Comics Krem continuously gains new layers, while movie Krem is statically shallow from the jump. Instead of Krem being the leader of the brigands as he is in the film, the comic shows that as he's kept prisoner on a planet that's attacked by the brigands, he proposes a creative new way for them to go about their murder, gaining their favor. He's accepted into their ranks, his cunning and villainy earning him a spot on their crew. This escalates the threat he poses in our minds when we read it. It's far more effective in raising the stakes of the story than having him be the top dog from the beginning. And I really need to stress this last point. Comic Krem is a human-level fighter. He doesn't have any superhuman powers, just his poisoned swords and arrows. These make him a credible threat under a red sun, but you spend the entire story just waiting for Kara to catch up to the villain under a yellow sun, where surely she'll be able to knock his block off. And when the two finally meet, he shows his ingenuity and malice. He's got with him this radiant sphere of sorcery known as the Mordru Globe, a ball of magic created by Krem through his countless slaughter of innocents. It has the power to teleport Kara and Ruthie far away. In a flash of light, Kara cannot escape due to its magical nature. And yet, we know that Krem can't just spam these things. He's clever enough and evil enough to concoct plans that can hinder even our Kryptonian heroine. So every next encounter with him, you're on the edge, wondering what trick he might pull out next. This is infinitely more interesting than a really strong guy who hits hard. Now, the last character I want to take a look at was unfortunately also reduced to a really strong guy who hits hard. Lobo is supposed to be the main man. He is a loudmouth, rude, petty, egotistical, crass, hyper-violent meathead. Any scene he's in, he enters like a wrecking ball and leaves half naked and laughing his head off. Lobo is a very big personality, so when I heard he was going to be added to this movie, played by Jason Momoa, I was in love with the idea. He would be such a fun character to bounce off the hellish brigands and a weary, devil-may-care Supergirl. And he looked incredible. The blood-red eyes, outfit covered in chains, and the stupidly gigantic cigar. It was all perfect. I couldn't wait. Unfortunately, what we got was the most boring, uninspired, watered-down attempt at Lobo I think they could have done. He was far too agreeable, far too nice. He's supposed to be a parody of hyper-masculine edgelords, equal parts hilarious and scary. I think I got a white chuckle once from one of his lines. His powers were deeply disappointing too. At first, he was portrayed as a serious threat. Kara trashes an entire bar full of enemies, but knows not to pick a fight with Lobo. And yet, at the end of the film, he's sitting inside a prison cell on the brigand ship. He says he's springing a trap, but that makes absolutely no sense. And even if it did, Lobo doesn't spring traps. He walks face first into nuclear explosions for fun. He should be able to easily tear his way out of this cage, which he would never let himself be thrown into in the first place. And his immortality was practically a non-factor. I believe he gets stabbed once. If you're going to put Lobo in a film, you have to at least blow off a few limbs and have him cackle as they grow back. This is basic stuff. Everything about Lobo was just so disappointing and strange. Why didn't he join the fight at the bar? He would have loved to toss around those brigands. Why did he let himself get captured? Why only leave once Ruthie escapes? Why did he care at all about her choosing revenge or not? Not to mention, they portrayed his code as some sort of serious, honor-bound thing. It's meant to be the joke of the character. He will cross literally any moral line, including the omnicide of everybody on his own planet. But he always honors a contract. That's hysterical. But this movie has him simply state it flatly to Ruthie in a random scene, the dialogue having no importance to the plot, themes, or arcs. It's like if there was a Bugs Bunny movie where he explained to the audience that he has a habit of replacing rabbit season hunting signs with duck season signs, instead of just doing the classic gag with Daffy. All of these problems with Lobo really boil down to the fact that he was obviously not part of the original script for this movie. It's easy to see once you take him out of the movie and realize absolutely nothing changes. He doesn't impact anyone or anything in the plot that matters. And because he was a mandate, there wasn't any love for the character in this execution. It's a real shame, and it might be my biggest disappointment. The last major critique I want to make of this film is an all-encompassing one. It was lame. The movie was so visually dull and sauceless. My favorite highlights from the comic were the colors, the vibrant and unique alien worlds, and the magical, fantastical feeling of the whole adventure. The movie didn't have any of that. They named a planet after Bilquis Evely, the artist of the Woman of Tomorrow comic, but didn't actually try to adapt any of her gorgeous artwork, and especially not any of the vibrant colors by Matheus Lopes. If there's someone who's gone underappreciated in this whole debacle, it's Lopes. His colors are actually breathtaking. Every landscape of rich earthy greens, cerulean blue oceans, haunting amethyst monasteries, and burning crimson starlight. Woman of Tomorrow might be the most beautiful book I've ever read, no exaggeration. What I've shown in this video is just some of my favorite highlights. I can't overstate how much of a treat for the senses this comic is. And the movie expects us to be content with its dull, dirty, murky grays and browns. Practically every scene is in a dingy gray room or a washed-out brown field of dirt. Argo is stripped of all color except for the golden energy dome. I know this movie wasn't directed by James Gunn, but even his Guardians films, which take place on grungy, dirty space stations, are tremendously colorful and visually novel. And what's frustrating is that it's very easy to imagine creative uses of color for a film like this. Imagine a scene where Lobo kills a group of enemies in a gray dust storm, the only color on screen coming from his piercing red eyes and the blood he's spilling, the vibrant crimson piercing through the monotone gray. Wouldn't that be awesome? Beyond the color, the comic was also bursting with creative touches surrounding the characters in their world. I already said before, Ruthie's narration of the whole story, as well as her dialogue and the dialogue of everyone on her planet, is this beautiful Old English prose. It makes her world feel magical and alien, like it was ripped right out of a fairy tale from 100 years ago. Creme is this Robin Hood-looking dye. The characters have pointed elf ears, and they wear this unique cone-like headgear, and none of them are accustomed to spaceships and technology until Supergirl shows them. The action sequences are filled with creative powers, visuals, and solutions to problems. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Supergirl using red kryptonite, transforming into a flaming space angel to do battle with a cosmic chromatic dragon. Or all the colors of the rainbow melting away as space distorts, Supergirl riding Comet outside the edge of the observable universe. All of the artwork is stunning. I love the way Evely captures emotion with these giant expressive eyes and the delicate line work that's somehow soft and sharp at the same time. One particular gripe of mine was that the movie insists on removing Supergirl's powers over and over again to keep the stakes intact. The comic instead raises the stakes by introducing more fantastical elements to challenge Supergirl. Creme makes use of the Mordru globe to teleport Kara away, and she can only escape the magic's chase by riding Comet the Superhorse beyond the edge of the universe, where magic's rules are unbound and she can pop the bubble with ease. Yet in the movie, they simply have her drink some poison that her super senses should have been able to pick up on. With how fantastical the Superman movie was, I was really hoping this film wouldn't shy away from the cosmic and supernatural elements that made the comic so good. But every intricate and memorable detail was sanded away in the final product. Take the Green Sun. In the comic, this was the result of galactic engineering, an alien race who crafted a solar system that radiated like kryptonite as a trap to kill Superman. Creme choosing to send Supergirl here was a testament to his cunning and knowledge of the wider universe. In the film, it's never explained why there is a sun that glows like kryptonite, and it's a coincidence that the brigands live on a planet beneath its rays. Everything interesting is watered down and diluted. Also, in the comic, the planet was covered in dinosaurs. Negative 10 million aura points for getting rid of the dinosaurs. Okay. That was a lot of complaining, so I want to end on a constructive note. Despite all these flaws, I don't think adapting this comic into a movie was an impossible task. I think you could have had it all. The main premise of the book, along with Kara's new arc to stop running away from connection and accept building a new home on Earth, while making some changes to the plot so it's not a one-to-one retelling. And I think you could even have kept Lobo. So, to prove my point, I'll give a short pitch here. What if Kara began the movie the same, binge drinking and partying around under red suns, and we learn from her brief conversation with Clark that she's given up on the idea of ever feeling normal again. This is why she rejects the suit you made for her and won't put down roots on Earth. We could see a version of Ruthie's origin, much more like the comic, where she discovers her father's murdered body and takes Creme's sword, vowing revenge. And when she asks Kara to help her, Kara says yes, only because she thinks it will be fun. In this version, Krypto is fine and comes along for the ride. Kara tells Ruthie to stay behind, but Ruthie follows her in secret. This takes us to the bus scene. I know they probably didn't have the budget for a giant CGI space dragon, but I think we could have at least had the red kryptonite pills so Kara could fight the pirates with flame powers. From there, the two would journey together for a while and eventually run into Lobo. He is the one who starts a bar fight over something stupid. We get to see him being loud and dumb and crass like Lobo should be, and Kara uses her wits to get them out of there without clashing with him. She explains to Ruthie who he is, a bounty hunter who doesn't care who or what gets in the way of his contracts, and warns her to stay away from him. On these little adventures, the two start to grow close, and Kara offhandedly shares bits of her past. Ruthie tries to explain that nothing will be the same for her now that her father is dead, and she'll do anything for revenge. She doesn't care about giving up her morals because there's no normal to return to. Kara pulls away from this conversation, though. She wants to put up walls and tells the girl that revenge is stupid, which frustrates Ruthie. There is tension between the two of them, palpably. They eventually catch up to Krem, expecting to beat him down, but he has a few surprises. A kryptonite arrow that strikes Krypto, and a Mordru globe to send them away, showing us he has a little bit of magic knowledge. They get sent to a faraway planet and have a big argument. Kara is deeply upset that Krypto is hurt and gives up. She blows up at Ruthie, telling her to abandon her stupid revenge quest, and that even if she kills him, it won't bring her dad back. It won't bring normal back. Nothing brings normal back. Ruthie is hurt by this and catches a space boss off of this planet. Left behind, Kara gets rid of the kryptonite arrow, but the sun sets, so Krypto can't heal yet. Kara reaches her breaking point here. She hates that Ruthie made her remember her parents and Argo. She just wants to forget it all. She remembers how alone, scared, and angry she felt. We see the flashbacks of her time there, the end of Krypton and Argo. But she's pulled out of her memories by Krypto, who licks her hand. This is where she gets it. She remembers that Krypto was the one who kept her sane as she traveled through space from Argo to Earth. This dog, her best friend, is her new normal. Home is wherever he is, and she doesn't know what she would have done without Krypto. She would have been completely hopeless and alone. Ruthie probably feels the same way right now. Ruthie needs someone to let her know the world hasn't ended, that there can be hope. Kara finally decides to put on the suit. Meanwhile, we see that Ruthie has not given up on revenge. Quite the opposite, she's hired Lobo to do the job. This sets up for the third act. The final fight will be for Ruthie's soul, with Lobo standing in the way. Kara finds Ruthie and Lobo just as they've captured Krem, and Kara tells them they need to stop. Ruthie will regret this. She can be better. They can make Krem face justice, but a little girl doesn't need blood on her hands. She'll disagree, and Lobo will fight Kara while Ruthie fights Krem. We actually get to see a fun fight where Lobo gets to shout and shoot and throw things and cuss and swear, and Kara can blow off his arm with her laser vision, and it would be amazing. And in the end, Kara manages to subdue Lobo, and Ruthie gets Krem to his knees. Kara explains that she won't stop her, but to just listen first. She was scared and alone when Argo was destroyed. This is the first time she's vulnerable with Ruthie. This is the first time she talks about it in depth. She recounts the story of her parents and their kryptonite poisoning. And ever since then, she's tried to hide from the pain by running from who she was. But that little girl who escaped Argo didn't die. She's still here alive inside of Kara. Ruthie helped show her that. No matter what we suffer, our past selves only die if we choose to kill them. She'd been trying to kill herself with all this drinking under a red sun. She was wrong. And Ruthie is going to kill that part of herself if she follows through with killing Krem. Ruthie says she's scared that she'll never be able to feel normal again. Kara explains she will. It'll just take some time. Right now, all she has to do is take her hand. Ruthie would swing the sword and stop just an inch from Krem's neck as she begins to cry. She accepts Kara's hope that she can find normal again. We end the movie with Kara taking Ruthie home to be with the rest of her family. Ruthie asks what Kara will do now. Kara says that Ruthie helped her find a little bit of peace that she's been looking for. Maybe she can find some more by helping others, and she knows just the place to do it. She returns to Earth, reuniting with Clark. Kara began this movie lost, afraid of the future because she was so burdened by her past. But by being a light to Ruthie, she realizes how she managed to survive this long. She realizes that there is always hope for the future if you keep pushing forward. And so she ends the movie a true woman of tomorrow. Remember, Jesus loves you. Bye-bye.